Parishad elections, Zilla Parishad elections, and we had the municipal elections. So we had these three elections back to back recently in Andhra Pradesh. So this was so after the first wave of COVID and before the second wave. The intervening period was when these elections were held. Basically, sir, it was an important exercise. I mean, usually, if any police officer will tell you that the panchayat elections, the municipal elections, the local body elections are more keenly contested and are usually more difficult to manage than the Lok Sabha elections or the MLA elections, because every small area has a independent dynamic. Every village has its own stake. Every family almost is involved. So it is something that we had to do. There was the challenges essentially in this were that it was on a very short notice. Elections had been cancelled before the first wave of COVID hit, and thereafter, before the second wave came in, we were given a very short notice period to conduct these elections. And we had to think, we had to, of course, stick to the basics. There is already a set process which we follow in conduct of elections, but there were unique challenges. One was, of course, COVID itself. We had to keep in mind, even though we were in the abatement period of the COVID wave, we still had to follow all the COVID precautions. We had to deal with critical force shortages. Normally, we get force from outside states. We get it augmented through drawing force from other states. But because of COVID and various other reasons, there was no force which was supposed to report from other states, and it was done in a politically tense times. So this was the challenges we faced, and we developed a smart election management plan for it. So essentially, I'll just stick to the innovative parts. I mean, I'm sure the judges are aware of the conduct of elections and the police's role in that. So I'll stick to the innovative things that we did here. So first was that normally we did a micro level vulnerability mapping, because we knew that we don't have enough force and will not be able to handle any large scale disturbance of law and order. So we proactively went ahead and did a micro level vulnerability mapping. We mapped out every single booth and the dynamics at play over there. We understood what is the law and order sensitivity, political sensitivity, and we involved various functionaries in that, not just police. That was something that we did, and our entire deployment plan was based on that. So we had a micro level vulnerability and assessment, and then on top of that, we followed it up with a flexible deployment, agile deployment plan. So that was one thing. Second was use of something called para police. So this also, I would like to put in the notice of the judges. This is the very first experiment of its kind. This was appreciated by the Election Commission of Andhra Pradesh. So we, as I said, so we were running short of police force. So what we did was we offered on our own to take members of the panchayat department and train them in police duties and get police work done through them. So you can see that little photo, sir, the people who are wearing that blue colored jacket. On that jacket, it is written para police. So they're actually panchayat department employees who we co-opted, we trained them, and then they worked along with police. So they were able to augment the police force. So it was a innovative manpower augmentation or a human resources management practice whereby we could flexibly deploy another department's personnel for police department's job by giving them training. Initially, people were very skeptical. They had many questions. Ki aise kaise karoge? Police has certain duties. They have a mandate. These people don't know the law. They don't know what is to be done. What if it comes to the using of force, etc. So all those concerns were taken care, and all those concerns were addressed. And we were able to achieve great success with their help, sir. Why I say success is because in the 2014 panchayat elections, there were 66 cases of poll-related violence which happened in our district. Whereas this time around, even though there were 3 elections in consecutive time within 2 months, the number was only 10. So from 66, we were able to bring it down to 10. Some of the other aspects of our election management, sir, was, as I already said, we did micro-level planning, which also meant setting up micro-level command and control centers. Normally, it's not done. So usually you have a district level command and control center, but we divided it into zones, and we had zonal command and control centers with independent radio channels, independent monitoring command control, so that we don't have any lag in response time. Our response time had to be fast. Of course, we kept on treating all the we kept on training all the para police personnel. That itself was an experience for us also. We had to train 5,300 people of other departments in police work. Essentially, our own command control was merged with the zonal command controls, and we were able to maintain proper surveillance. This is this is the usual thing that we do, sir. I mean, we divide up areas into routes and then into booths. That of course was done. You can see the figures. So the figures are instructive. We achieved a really steep, appreciable decline in the law and order incidents, despite the screen has gone on sleep. Sir, am I visible or audible, sir?
Yeah, very much, please.
So there is a issue with the screen over at this end. So essentially, that what was done, sir. I've lost my screen feed here, sir. I can hear you, but I can't see the screen. So I'm just reiterating.
We are able to see the screen.
Yes, sir. So next change. Essentially, sir, basically the para police aspect and the macro planning. That was the micro planning. That was what was there, and it was appreciated, sir. We had to obviously combine this with village level visits, and the footwork and the groundwork. All of it was done. We used to go to villages, sit on the village chabutra, which we call Rakshibanda in South India, and then engage people. So that's what had happened, sir. You can see, sir, the State Election Commission, particularly, and the DGP appreciated this para police initiative, and now it has become a standard part of Andhra Pradesh government practices. Now all districts have a system of creating para police teams whenever there is a need which arises. Following our example, every single district did it, and it really greatly reduced the burden on police. That's what was the election management all about, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good. Now, this para police, this is only for this purpose, or once you just name them and train them, they remain always with you?
No, sir. The whole concept is agile and flexible deployment of manpower. So they continue to be Panchayat department employees. We use them for elections, and then they go back to their parent department. We even use them for COVID thereafter, sir, because once the precedent was set that in times of crisis or in times when the requirement is more, the precedent was set, and then now it has become a very useful force multiplier or a force augmentation for Andhra Pradesh police. That way, sir.
Are you involving any NGOs also?
So NGOs at the time
self-help groups, no?
Self-help groups, not in the conduct of elections, sir. Otherwise, sir, yes. In COVID, we had the Rotary Club, the Red Cross, and other local NGOs involved in a big way in different capacities. Some were serving food, some were organizing blood donation. So in their niche areas, they're associated with us. Our capacity to mobilize and organize on the ground.
Good. Bhushanji, any questions from your side?
So I think you're on mute, sir.
I understand the complexity of this job, and you're really at the ground level to take care of this particular thing. It has been fairly innovative, and the results are speaking for you. That's good.
Good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Let's move on.
Yes, sir. Next one, sir. Huh?